You know what, one thing I learned, first of all, God bless you, good afternoon. But you know what, one thing I learned when I gave my life to God and I turned my life over to Christ is this. Many people talk about praying against other people, right? But many don't talk to you about praying against your own flesh. It is not easy to walk with Christ. We have all these determining factors that we have in our world that are desires of our flesh that we have been indoctrinated in because we grew up in the world, right? We were raised up in the world. It's been our socialism, it's been our backdrop, our peers and everything like that, right? So we have these indoctrinations and everything does not get broken at the same time. When I first got saved and I first got baptized around May 21st to be exact, I remember the things that started to pull away from me. It was cursing. It was identifying with an astrology. It was reading horoscopes. I stopped doing all that stuff. And one of the things that I used to do all the time was watch murder mysteries. I was big on them. And my mom, before I got baptized, used to talk to me about murder mysteries all the time. She was like, you're inviting darkness into your home. You're inviting, she would talk to me about it. But I felt like it was not problematic. One day, y'all, maybe about like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was watching a murder mystery. And just like that, the Holy Spirit came in and convicted me and said, stop watching this. And I have not watched them since. So there have been some things that have been easy for me to let go. I don't have sex. I don't entertain situations that I think are going to pull me out of body and have me acting in my flesh. I don't. I try hard not to engage in sinful behavior. And if I do, I'm heavily convicted. I pray about it. I repent. God is slowly cleaning me up, but everything does not happen right away. So what you need to be doing, I'm not saying that you don't need to pray against people who are trying to harm you, but when you pray for people, you don't really pray against them. You get what I'm saying? You pray for God's will to be done. That way it protects you and it protects the person. That means that whatever God's will is for me and whatever God's will is for someone who doesn't like me, whether I was wrong or right, I could have wronged this person, they could have wronged me. It really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. What matters is what God says about it. So when you pray, I think I should be careful with like praying against. I would say that you pray for the situation to happen and to be mediated and for justice to be served and God's will, what he thinks should occur. You know what I mean? And that way that protects you from having vengeance in your heart. You don't want to have vengeance in your heart. First of all, it does not belong to you. It belongs to the Lord. You know what I mean? And you want to keep yourself clean. You want to keep yourself joyful. You want to keep your, excuse me, you want to keep yourself righteous. You want to keep yourself holy. And to do those things, you sometimes have to pray against your own flesh because everything is not going to be easy. There are going to be some people you just really are having a hard time forgiving, a hard time dealing with, a hard time liking, a hard time even saying a nice word to. Okay? Some stuff is going to be more difficult. You know what I mean? It's going to be some things that people aren't going to be able to break that easy. I know one of the elders at the church, she said when she first started going to church and she got saved, she smoked the first 7 years that she was going to church. The first 7 years she smoked. She said she was able to knock a lot of other things down, but she couldn't put cigarettes down. And then she said just one, but she was praying against it the whole time. You see what I'm saying? She was praying for God to remove it. So see, those are things that you could be praying for God to remove out of your life. Like say you in some type of relationship where you in love with this man or you in love with this woman, but you know that they aren't for you. You know that they aren't equally yoked with you. Maybe y'all are married. Maybe you are fornicating and you are in your relationship with God and you know it's wrong, but it's hard. You pray to God to help you to get out of that situation with his will. So nobody is harmed. Nobody is too hurt. Nobody, you know what I mean? You got to take it to God. If there are decisions that are hard for you to make, take it to God because you're not going to change real fast like that. Some things are going to go away quicker than others. One of the things that I got rid of too was monitoring spirits in my life. I got tired of being around people who just want to, I don't know what it is, but they want to keep a close eye on whatever it is that you're doing. And that energy is very devilish to me. It's very much so a demonic principality. So I realized when I was in the world, I had a lot of people around me like that. And when I mean it was deep, it was deep. So people see the light in you, even when you don't see it in yourself. So when you get saved, that's one of the things I cleaned up right away. I removed all the monitoring spirits. I removed people from around me that just weren't of the light. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to deal with it anymore, and I don't. And whenever I come into occurrences with people like that, I just pray about it. And I pray that God doesn't put me in any situation where I have to be around them or et cetera, et cetera. The point of the matter is pray about stuff. Pray about things. Pray for God to remove things. Pray against your own flesh. It ain't always about everybody else. You know what I mean? There's some stuff in you that needs to be corrected as well. And far too often as Christians, a lot of Christians start thinking it's everybody around them all the time. No, sometimes it's some character traits in you that need to change. It's some things in you that you are doing that is not of God. And some of the stuff, I'm telling you, it's some things I didn't even think were a problem. But as soon as I got saved, God started convicting me. He started nudging me not to do certain things. And that's the phase I am in. So walking with Christ, y'all, it ain't for the weak, because you have to adhere to things. You can't just stay stuck in your stubborn ways for long. You can't just keep sitting there like, well, this is me. This is me. God know me. No, 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 no. If God is nudging you to change your ways, change them. God bless you. You guys be easy. Have a good evening.